Jonny, tell us the story. How did you join Morrissey's band? And also, what was the first bass line you put down?
Well, the first one was Pregnant for the Last Time.
Pregnant for the Last
And
Time.
how did I come to do it?
Yes.
It was through Clive Langer. Morrissey wanted to do a rockabilly kind of thing. So he didn't know any people. He asked Clive Langer. This was at the end of the Kill Uncle sessions. Did he know anyone? He didn't know anyone, but Carl Out of Madness knew Boz.
Right.
And Boz knew me.
Ah.
So, Boz and I went along to Hook End. Alan tagged along with a harmonica.
Alan White?
Yeah. Honestly, he was just like an interloper.
Wow, that's quite a switch up.
We went there and it was like, we're going to do a rockabilly kind of thing, but don't make it sound like the Stray Cats.
Right.
Mark Nevin was there, he'd written the song. Hello, daughter. And
Hi, Elsie.
Andrew was playing drums, of course.
Andrew Paresi. He was
yeah.
here last night. Were you here last night?
Yeah.
Here, Andrew?
Yay.
Yeah, fantastic drummer.
And it came together incredibly quickly. We just played, and it just happened.
Will you play a little bit of Pregnant for the Last Time for
I
us?
can. I haven't played it since then.
Exclusive, ladies and gentlemen, get your videos
And
ready.
of course, it was on the double bass, so it's totally different. But I will.
I was told by the poor man's Jonny Bridgwood that you'd be able to do it on this bass.
This is Ezra's doing, isn't it?
It's my fault. It's all my
He
fault.
just wanted to trip me up. If I'd known I was going to play it, I'd have practiced it, or at least listened to it. It was something like this.
Fantastic. How did you come up with that?
I pulled it off.
Crushed it.
Did you get a demo or?
No. We played it in the room.
Played it in the room.
Mark Nevin said it goes like this.
Yeah.
We jammed a bit,
Right.
and just did it. It was really quick.
Yeah. Mark's a very talented songwriter, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's he like to work with?
It's fine, yeah.
He's
great.
fine.
He's all right.
Next year's guest, Mark Nevin.
I did a load of gigs with him about 10 years ago. Yeah. It was great, actually. We swapped loads of stories. And then we'd go on stage and I'd be really disappointed because the stories were more interesting.
Oh!
I don't mean that in a horrible way. It's just like, I was having a really good time talking.
Brilliant. Okay, so of the 3 albums that you worked on, Jonny, you came then to work on Vauxhall and I next. Yeah. Tell us some of your favourite bass lines on there that you laid down.
The More You Ignore Me, I Am Hated for Loving. What else? What else is on it?
Best don't worry.
That's not on that one. Speedway. Billy Boyd, Spring Hill Gym. Well done. Now My Heart's Full. Any more? Anybody got any more?
Now my heart.
Lazy Sundays. Yes,
Yeah.
Now My Heart's Full. I think
We're going to hear that later.
have
aren't
we've got all of them, haven't we?
Yeah, we're going to hear Now My Heart Is Full when you play with the Salford lads in a little while. But why don't we hear something? Why don't we hear The More You Ignore Me?
Yeah. Yes.
that one either. Come on, you put me on the spot here.
Yeah, no need to. No sound check, Jonny. Yeah. What do you think you need to be a good... We've got some bass players in the room. We've got Josie, amazing bass player. We've got Ezra. We've got John Robb. We've got John Robb. What does it take? I mean, what does it take to be a good bass player? Well, Josie is 13.
Only to begin with, when you're old enough. What does it take? A lot of practice.
Right.
Scales, learning chords, harmony.
Right.
Learn as much as you can, play as much as you can, listen to as many records as you can.
Because when you came to you didn't even sort of technically learn the bass. You became at one with the bass, didn't you? Immediately, as your instrument.
Yeah. I met my first bass in a shop, and we hit it off immediately. And that was 42 years ago.
Wow. And he still looks 15.
I was only 8. Yeah.
So how about we hear, how about Lost?
Lost.
Would you like to hear Lost?
It's all in there somewhere, you know. I have not practiced any of these. I would have phoned up if I'd known I was going to take it.
You were briefed.
Not on the B-side.
So Lost, of course, is the B-side, isn't it, to the bubble-headed choice. Should have been an A-side?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Written by Spencer.
Yeah, it was really good. What was it? It was the B-side of...
Royce Keane, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Royce Keane,
Yeah.
And the edges are no longer parallel. Don't ask me to play that.
I won't.
So I definitely can't remember that.
In terms of like the songwriting with Morrissey at the time, so Spencer Colburn contributed a couple of songs. Did you ever fancy throwing your hat in the ring for that?
I did think about it, but at the time I had no means to record anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I want to compete with everybody?
Yeah.
I didn't really. There was a bit of everybody wanted to get their piece of the pie,
Right.
And I was quite happy just sort of doing my thing and then going my own sweet way.
Used to be a sweet boy.
Yeah. Still am.
Definitely. What about we hear Nobody Loves Us? Do you remember that?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I practiced this one a bit the other day. I might be able to pull this one off. This will make up for you. Or do you ever go, I actually think you should go this way? Like, how much creativity is there when you're in the studio? Loads.
Loads?
Yeah.
So did you ever start with something and say, no, that's wrong, I want to do it this way? Like, what did you come up with?
Well, sometimes we used to work on tracks, and if they didn't work, we'd just try them a different way. You know, like things like, why don't you find out for yourself? Which we did in a really electrical kind of rocky way. And it was okay, but it just didn't fit the album. So we just binned it and redid it.
Right.
With the, Vogue bass and everything.
And whose decision was that?
I think it might have been Steve Lillywhite, actually.
Yeah. So Steve Lillywhite produced the 3 albums that you were on?
All 3, yeah.
Yeah, what's he like to work with?
Great, really good.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
Everyone's fine.
All good. He was really good because he's a really vibey kind of guy.
Yeah.
Really enthusiastic. If you get into something, he's, really encouraging.
Where did you record each album?
End Manor.
All at Hook End. What's it like there? Because, we've read loads of stories, seen all the videos on YouTube about this big sprawling place that was owned by Clive Langer and Alan Winstanley, the biggest studio in Europe. Is it true about the White Room?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Tell us about the White Room.
The White Room. It was white. There was, I think Dave Gilmour had it. Alvin Lee originally put a studio in. Alvin Lee was the guitarist in a band called 10 Years After.
Yeah.
Famous for playing at Woodstock. He sold it to Dave Gilmour. Dave Gilmour put the White Room in. Well, did it white. Obviously the room was there before. And everything in it was white. White carpet, white walls, white ceiling, white furniture.
Alan White.
Alan White was in there, yeah. That's true. He was in there with me once. I changed my name to White every time I went in there.
And you've heard there were other white
The
white
only thing
things.
in there that wasn't white was a record player. So it was quite nice. You could go in there and listen to records. Morrissey had some of his Sparks albums in there. So it's like, Moss has been in there, I'll just put one of his Sparks albums on, And it was good.
So you spent all that time at Hook End Manor in intimate company with Morrissey and the rest of the band. Do you have any fond memories of that? For example, like meal times, or did you go out for walks together with Morrissey? Like what happened? Paint us a picture.
Well, when we started the album, Morrissey was really sociable. We worked 6 days a week and we had Sundays off. You'd know this if you were listening. And it was really good fun. It literally is in the middle of nowhere in Oxfordshire. But there's a pub, the roads go in every direction, and there's a pub in every direction. And we would, the first few weeks when we were getting going, we would go to a pub every night. So there'd be Morrissey and the band walking down these dark country lanes, trying to find a pub. I remember one time we went in, we actually walked past the pub, but we didn't go in because it was empty and it didn't look very inviting. And Alan went, "It's the Nobody Inn." But yeah, we did a lot of pubs, played a bit of darts. Can't remember if Morrissey played darts. And that was really good fun. We played football. Football on Sundays.
Yeah.
Band versus everyone else.
Who was the best at football?
Me. I could have been a footballer, but I chose music.
Are you better than Morrissey at football?
Yeah. Of course. I made a goal for him. It wasn't bad. I did, I set him up for a goal. I got an assist. We did win.
Yes. Really?
We did win, honestly.
So you made 3 albums, you had a fantastic time, and then one day you went on to Chris Evans' show and decided that was enough. What happened? What were you playing?
I decided I'd had enough before then.
All right, okay.
That was the end.
So what happened?
To what?
To you leaving the band?
It was time.
It was time, okay. And that was Satan Rejected My Soul.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the last song you played.
It was, yeah.
Will you play it for us now?
God, I haven't played it since.
I love that song.
Yes.
One of my favourites.
Honestly.
This is for you then. For you.
Yeah.
Did you do this as well?
I was put up to it. At gunpoint.
I know we did it in E, and then we put it up to F sharp, because everything used to change.
You're the New York man. Yeah. Excellent. Look forward to seeing you later on. Thanks.
That day.
We've not played that since 1997, so we were the first to hear it. Thanks so much, Jonny. An exclusive, ladies and gentlemen. He's been unbelievable and he's going to be back to play for us very soon. Please give it up for Jonny Bridgwood.